Miami Dolphins once again collapse at the end of the season, cannot clinch their division. Bills, everyone wrote them off 5 weeks ago. What did they do? Roll off 5 straight wins. Who do the Dolphins have to blame for it? Sorry, guys. The Titans tightened you. As a Titans fan, I take no pleasure in it, although I do take a lot of pleasure in knocking the Jags out, who I've told you time and time again this season are a joke, and that they would choke, and sure enough, they did. This is the Fan Le Batard Show, the fastest growing Dan Le Batard Show fan YouTube channel, and we're talking the Dan Le Batard Show watch-along of the Buffalo Bills versus the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins could not get it done, up 14-7, and then they give up a punt return and another touchdown, and then throw an interception towards the end there as they're making a little bit of progress. Really sloppy game overall, but we're here to talk about who do we think is DolphIN or DolphOUT. So I took a snapshot that I'm going to pull up here and go through. This, folks, was right around the time they still had the chance to win here. But this was late in the fourth. I believe the Bills actually had the ball. They hadn't stopped the Bills yet. And Chris Cody was starting to come to the realization that he's going to be going to Kansas City. And Jeremy told him, well, maybe you'll see Taylor Swift there. And I snapped this screenshot here of, you got Roy over in the corner. He seems glued to the game. Maybe he's seeing that they got the stop there because he was a little bit ahead of him and he looks happy. So I'm going to say Roy here. DolphIN. Chris Cody, I think currently he's DolphOUT. He's sad. I think he went into this game with high expectations. Thought the Dolphins could get the tie or maybe the win and then take down Buffalo the next week. But here in this moment, I think Chris Cody's DolphOUT. Now, we all know Chris Cody, he's optimist. He's going to turn himself around, and I believe we'll hear him over the course of the week talk himself into being DolphIN and, having a chance. But we'll see. Kansas City, going to be cold, but right here, Chris is coming. Everything's crashing down right here for him and realizing same old Dolphins were not a division winner, no home game, another playoff game with the expectations that they had at the start of the season. He's sad, folks. And then we come to Billy Gill. I mean, look at everyone's demeanor here. I mean, even Roy does look a little bit happy here, but Billy, what is going on here, sir? Which this leads me to believe, look at this. Billy, he's fully clad out in Dolphin gear, and he's talked about the Dolphins, but we all know this dude's an Indianapolis Colts fan. He's just here to sow chaos, and he puts these things on. But this is what I'm going to say, folks. Shocking revelation. I don't think Billy Gill was ever DolphIN on this team and was just here to troll. Look at this face in the moment. Like, dude looks like he's trying to not burst out into huge laughter. Billy Gill, you evil cat. You have been DolphOUT and sowing seeds of destruction this entire season. Tony right there, he's DolphOUT. Guy's smart football guy. He knows the deal. Dolphins, too hurt, honestly. Dolphins just had one of those unlucky seasons, had too many injuries to keep it going, and they've really fallen apart down the stretch. And we'll see what happens in the playoffs. But you look at Jeremy over there, dude looks DolphOUT to me too in this picture. And the show's in a dark place. So what can we do to pick him up, encourage him? Honestly though, Stu, you brought this on the show. You said, who I want? Kansas City. And you know who Miami has now? Kansas City. And guess what, guys? Kansas City has done nothing, absolutely nothing, to show you that you should be scared coming in. They have been immensely beatable all season long. They haven't improved and gotten out of it. So honestly, out of all this, going into Kansas City, you knock off a defending Super Bowl champion, sure, you're going to have to go the next weekend, go to Baltimore, but you could kind of feel like this season not that bad since you did unseat the Chiefs if you beat them. If you get knocked off by them too, it is a disappointment because with where you were, I mean, let's be honest, this season is a disappointment. Sorry, Dolphins fans. Sorry, show. I tried to pick you up. I tried to hype you up, but I couldn't do it. You had to lose to the Titans. I was watching that game. I turned it off when they scored the touchdown at 4 minutes. I'm like, this game's over. I'm going to start putting my kids to bed. And then as I'm putting my kids to bed, in bed, waiting for one of them to fall asleep, pull out Instagram, hold it down real low so I can't see it. And I start seeing the show, watch a reel by them, and they're all like, Dan's insinuating that the Dolphins lost. And I go, what? I pull up the ESPN app. I'm like, what? No way. The Titans won that game. It felt over. So how you go and blow that game, Miami? Season's complete, utter disappointment as it stands. And if you once again go into Kansas City and lose, it is a disappointment because no progress. A promising season last year, which again, you had expectations to make the playoffs, but everything was new, right? This season, you were supposed to put something together. And if all you put together is the exact same season that you had last year and you had Tua healthy all season long, it's hard to feel good about that as a Dolphin fan. But anyway, hey, did you miss us? The Fan Le Batard Show, we've been gone for about a month now, so I thought I would just come out onto the airwaves, create a little short something. Excited for the playoffs. Probably going to fill out way too many DraftKings best ball drafts because it's just really fun to draft. But, I mean, was a little disappointed show didn't put out a community DraftKings game. I ended up coming away plus $5 on my little DraftKings wager, though. I did just go in the main $3 thing and run it. Had myself a nice little day there, making that money. Looking forward again, betting on the playoffs, and looking forward to a 2024 of the Le Batard Show. Personally, I feel like the show's in a really good place. I hope they continue to put out great content. I've loved all the content that they've been doing. Me, I've loved it all along. You guys know how I roll. I was going to do a bunch of stuff over Christmas break, but you know what always ends up happening? It's just, it's a grind. I work hard on this podcast here, folks. I appreciate your support. I would appreciate your continued support. Listen, subscribe on YouTube. Do me a favor, maybe help us get to, we're actually not that far away from being monetized, folks. If you want to help the Fan Le Batard Show, here's what you could do. Before you go to bed, you take your phone, you turn the volume all the way down, and then you go to our YouTube page and you click playlists and you click full episodes. You press play on that first full episode and you let that puppy play all through the night while it charges. I know it's not great for your screen time report, but it's great for our watchable hours, which we need another 2,000 or so to reach the 4,000, but another couple hundred or so, like 800 to get to the first level of monetization on YouTube. So help us out there, do that. And I'm looking forward to 2024, have some ideas, hope to continue to get people from the show on, new people from the show on, do some more fun stuff. We'll see what happens. I say all this and then I give the caveat. I got baby number 3 on the way, guys. Cute little baby girl. who's coming into the world. Child number 3. And I don't know what that's going to look like for the show and content-wise. Might slow down some of my plans and whatnot, deservedly so. But just a little heads up, I'm still going to try and get some stuff out and all that. And look forward to another year of the Fan Le Batard Show and see what can we do, how can we grow, how can we continue to get people from the Dan Le Batard Show? Because, we are. I can 100% guarantee you we will have people from the Dan Le Batard Show on our show this year for sure. Mark it. Are we going to keep talking highlight? We're going to keep talking highlight. The draft is right around the corner. In fact, by the time you're listening to this, the draft is happening tomorrow on Tuesday. I don't know if they're broadcasting it because the draft's actually not happening at the Fronton. So we'll see. I might do something around that. But again, child on the way. Got to get things ready. Got to make sure the wife is taken care of and she's taking it easy. So we'll see if we end up doing anything around the draft, but keep your eyes peeled. And again, thank you for your support. And hey, send a little love to the Le Batard Show. They're hurting right now with the disappointment of this Dolphin season, but the watch along was great content. What was your favorite moment? I think my favorite thing was cutting in to Greg as he was writing, although I felt like they did a little bit too much towards the end, and I was on Dan's side. I was like, dude, just leave him alone at this point. You've done it enough. Don't keep, got a little bit too excessive there towards the end. Chris, that's your dad, man. He's working. And you know the fans' biggest criticism, and you're going to set yourself up for that? I mean, I don't care about any of that, but everybody seems to criticize the Chris for how he treats his dad, even though they repeatedly say it's no big deal. But Chris was the one repeatedly putting himself in that spot where the fans keep sending hate his way. Come on, Chris. But it was hilarious. And the watch along was very good. I didn't try to get any of those prizes. Maybe you got some of those prizes. But I'm glad they're doing that kind of stuff. Maybe they'll even do another watch along next week. And hey, are you guys going to Vegas? Viva Mas Vegas? I actually am planning on going. It's going to be tricky. We'll see. Because I'm close to Vegas, 3 hours away. So show's going to come to Vegas. It's like, boy, I can't really miss out on that opportunity where you get to see the show live and in person for just a 3-hour drive when it's usually a flight all the way across the country. So the wife is on board, but in order for me to go, what I'm going to have to do is wake up super early, put my kids into daycare. And by this time, baby number 3 will have arrived. Put my kids into daycare super early, then drive to Vegas, leaving here before 7 a.m., getting my kids into daycare at 6:30 a.m. Leaving at 6:30 a.m. would be ideal. Get that 3-hour drive, get there just a little bit before the show starts live, catch the live show, hop back in my car, and drive all the way back and pick my kids up from their daycare, and then go back. And maybe, I don't know, we'll see. The wife did say you should go both days in a row, and I'm like, that's crazy. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know, but I'm excited that the show is coming to Vegas, seeing what they're going to do. Yeah, maybe create some content around that, and feel like I'm rambling here, but excited for 2024. Thank you everyone for your support. Nasty Nate out.